Another massive game to kick off the group stage. Bayern Munich hosting Manchester United, two European heavyweights colliding at the Allianz Arena. Nick, I guess all eyes will be on Harry Kane, right? It'll be Bayern will be like, here you go, Man United. Here's what you could have had. But we'll take him and he's scoring loads of goals for us. So this is a very intriguing matchup on the first match day of the Champions League group stage.
Yeah, you are not joking. And I want to know, can we fast forward in time and find out how the health of Manchester United backs are at this point? Because we've seen Varane and Lisandro Martinez go out of the lineup. There was a knock for Amrabat, right? Like all these players who, even if whenever they're able to play, we know they're carrying something. Yeah. And how fit are they going to be? What's most interesting about this game is Harry Kane, far and away. I think he's flying. The familiarity is there. Thomas Tuchel has oodles and oodles of film to see how Kane works best against this United team. But the most fun part is the key parts to United who are still new to this. And Erik ten Hag's system is still relatively new. So most times I think you would ticket Bayern Munich for a win here. But Erik ten Hag, I think, has a chance to maybe flex a little bit. And his dander will be up after what's gone on at United the past few weeks.
Andy, when we focus on Bayern, I mean, good start to the Bundesliga season. Of course, they always seem to do well. 3 wins from 3 to kick off that campaign. But, I mean, Kane is the perfect fit, right? I've watched him a few times early on the season, and just the crosses into the box, the way he's being allowed to drop deep, and Leroy Sané and others just running in behind and him feeding through balls that we saw him do at Tottenham many, many times for Son and co over the last few. It works. You can see why they went so hard and spent so much to get Harry Kane in. And let's be honest, the main reason is because they want to win this trophy. They want to win the Champions League. So kind of all eyes and all expectations will be on him and Bayern to deliver a big win on the opening day.
Yeah. So you're saying the 11-time defending champions are playing pretty well, huh, Joe? They've done that over the years. Yeah, no, it is a perfect fit. And I was thinking about this as we were preparing for the show. Stereotypically speaking, you know, the Germans are very machine-like, very robotic. And I can't think of many non-German players who more kind of fit that stereotype and that mold as a player, and maybe some could say as a person as well, than Harry Kane, and somebody who's just going to show up to work every single day and who is going to do what's asked and what's needed. And that's kind of the important part, is when you get players that reach that level. And I think you could say Harry Kane, aside from Erling Haaland, best striker in the world, you get to that level, you might not always want to do what's best for the team. You might want to do what's best for you. And Harry Kane, I mean, he's going to score a lot of goals, and that's great for him, but it's great for the team as well. And he does feel like that piece that has been maybe not missing from Bayern the last couple of years, because I know they had Lewandowski for a long, long time, and that absence was felt last season. But I think just to let them evolve a little bit more and give them someone who can score goals in so many different ways as well, and be a provider and an assister for some dangerous wing players. It's just, yeah, they are, if it wasn't for Manchester City being just the juggernaut that they are right now, I would say Bayern probably the favorites to win Champions League this season. Those two right there in a final, I think, is the dream matchup for this season.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really close, I think, for Bayern this season with Kane. Like you mentioned, Lewandowski missing, it didn't seem right. The machine, the key cog was missing. So now Kane's there and it's working wonderfully early on for him at Bayern. Nick, it's not working wonderfully early on for Manchester United this season, all over the place. I mean, 2 defeats in the first 4, even the 2 wins they got in the Premier League were pretty lucky at that. Obviously, the situations sort of on and off the pitch with Anthony being suspended and not being back in Manchester United's squad right now as he deals with abuse allegations off the pitch. And then Jadon Sancho, that whole situation with Erik ten Hag calling him out after the defeat at Arsenal, and then Sancho coming back on social media and having a pop back at ten Hag. And then, you know, Erik ten Hag's come out ahead of this game and said there are certain standards and level, and you know, Sancho is not training with Man United's first team right now. So it's all a bit of a mess. Shambles is probably the best word to sum up Man United's start to the season. So in a weird way, though, a big Champions League game away at Bayern when nobody really expects much from them, kind of what they need right now?
No, I mean, yes, it could be. It could be. Yes, it could be what they need right now. We're in swing country though. For me, like for Erik ten Hag, I bought in last year, and there's enough going on right now that is a real test of his mettle. And we've seen, I don't want to say lesser or better managers or whatever, but we've seen people who at least have his reputation wash out of big clubs like this over flashpoints like this. And it's a pretty big time, especially because going up against a fantastic Bayern Munich. What happens if Højlund doesn't show up, right? What happens if Rashford doesn't produce, or if Amrabat starts and isn't great, or like there's so many ways where a game like this can make a season, and it won't break it. But right now, Ten Hag still feels like this is his club. And how many results away? I'll ask you guys, how many bad results away are we from maybe it's not his club, because it's Manchester United, and we've seen crazier things.
Right now, it feels like it's like a medium-sized snowball that's rolling down the mountain, and Erik ten Hag is doing his best to push it back up the hill and saying, I'm in control here. He's been very forthright in his press conferences, talking about Jadon Sancho in particular, the start to the season, etc. But I don't know. It's bigger. It's bigger than Erik ten Hag. We could have a whole show on the issues of Man United, right? So I feel like it's kind of unfair to him to put a lot of this on his door, but this is huge, Andy. I think, like Nick mentioned, that if they get a positive result away at Bayern, that sets them up very nicely. I think Bayern are going to win 3-1. Probably that's my prediction. But give me a prediction, Andy, and your kind of thoughts on United quickly.
Yeah, something lopsided in Bayern's favor, it would be my prediction here. And to your point, Joe, Erik ten Hag is not the first manager in the last decade that has found himself in this situation time and time again. They all seem to do it. And so there is something about the club and the way that it operates and the way that they bring players in and just exist at this point, I think, that is problematic for the people that are front-facing to the rest of the world and responsible for what happens on the field.
Nick, what are you thinking, mate?
I'm with you. I think 3-1. I don't think it'll be embarrassing or anything like that. But I just look at Mezraoui and Upamecano and Kimmich and Goretzka. I mean, it's loaded from front to back before Harry Kane was in there. And last year there was a little bit of the specter gone because it wasn't Lewandowski. Well, Lewandowski's back in a sense. That's what Harry Kane is doing, and he has the potential to, I don't want to say do it better, because look at what Lewandowski did when he was there. But Andy's right. I might even favor them against Man City in a game, which is crazy to say. 3-1, and I think in a way Man United will be they can lose and come away from this feeling okay.
I feel like it's going to be similar to the Arsenal game before the break, right? They're solid enough, and then maybe they don't take the chances, and then Bayern catch them on the counter, or a bit of individual brilliance from Kane delivers it. Then that's fair enough. And I think it's probably nice for them to have this game out of the way as the first group stage game and be like, all right, that's the toughest game we've got, and let's focus now on getting to the last 16, whatever happens in Munich. But we'll keep you covered here on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com with everything to do with Bayern Munich against Manchester United. A massive game for both teams, as Bayern are one of the favourites to win it. Man United will be favoured to get out of the group, and let's see what happens for them. But we'll keep you updated here at PST as Harry Kane looks to put on a show for Bayern to kick off the Champions League group stage.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.